Sorry about that. I got ambushed by a Shelob and a castle. Okay. Right then. How's everything going? Something is being flooded. That's probably not good. Oh. Well, yeah, that isn't great. Probably should fix that one. Fairly easy fix though. Dunk. It's that's preventing the liquid from moving through. Does anyone think Aavak or Lily Shea will do stream raiders anytime soon? I will probably do stream raiders. It looks really fun, but I think it's going to be a game for a certain type. Well, yeah, a game for a certain type of game, frankly. How's everything doing in here? At this point, it's dumped the majority of its heat into everything. When do we kick this in? 175. So we're actually not that far off it. Also, Aavak, have you ever considered doing a poll on potential stream activities like the Welsh Storytime you mentioned a while back, or bringing back an old game like Dwarf Fortress or Dragon Quest Builders? I'll play what I feel like playing. Basically, that's not. I might make a short list, but I'm never gonna be one of these people who will allow someone else to just dictate what I'm gonna play, because I don't think that helps. I weigh my enjoyment of a game very visibly. If I'm not engaging with a game, because, for example, someone said, "Oh yeah, play this game," and I felt obliged to, it is going to be so obvious. Just one of those things, really. Also, I realized that this was a bit of an oversight. I need to get that switched around rather badly, because we've not had any fresh water being pumped into the system for a while. Quite a while. Also, I am back with a Dapper Drink, because the Dapper Drinks won handedly against the Demon's Brew. So it's time for me to complete all of those. There we go. So, Demon's Brew is now, by default, in the lead. So the next break we take, probably coming back with coffee, unless someone wants to vote. I'll put the Dapper Drink ahead once again. Deco, happy I got to catch some stream time, Aavak. Gonna sleep though. Have a good stream. I'll take care, mate. Thanks for dropping by. Aavak, can't stay long. I just noticed you were live. I wanted to resub and say, I am loving your CK3 playthrough. Keep up the amazing work. Oh, thank you so much. I'm really glad you're enjoying it, J. Kesley. But to answer your question, though, Bowtie, I regularly, if there's like a list of games that I equally want to play, I'll quite often create like a little poll out of the short list of those games and invite people to help me decide. We want this to be a NOT gate. And across. And this, a high threshold, should be... Oh, wait, no. Wait. No, that would have been correct. I want to stop it when it hits 95, but start it when it's below 10. I pulled all of that up for nothing. Damn it. I'm so used to getting that the wrong way around that I just assumed that I had it wrong. Oh, well. There we go. Sorted. There we go. That should now fill up the liquid reservoir until it's 95%. And then this will shut down until that's below 10%. And that should run for a while. Now, what do we want to do with this? If this liquid gets over there... What do I want to do? I could just have this run back and then deposit the liquids back in here. But honestly, the biggest issue here is if this is water or polluted water, I don't want to dump it over on this side because I'm just moving the problem around then. But if it's anything else, I do want to dump it back in, but I don't necessarily, you know, eventually it's going to get sucked back up. So it's just going to be a constant repeating cycle. Therein is the problem. Unless, again, I had another tank, and I filtered this back around into the tank. But then, no, that would make sense. Eventually the tank would just get full of oil or petroleum or brine or something equally different. No, I think it's fine. We're gonna vent it out down here. I may just be kicking the can down the road a little bit, but at least the can is moving, you know? At least the can is moving. But yeah, ultimately making a set of pools for each liquid would be ideal. And that's pretty much what I want this to be in the long run. Now, for the time being, I want to get rid of this liquid vent and the pipe behind it. I no longer want any liquid being built up in this pool. Further to that, I don't want any kind of automation controlling this either. Further, I don't want this to exist here. Yeah, this pump shouldn't be here. Let's just remove that in its entirety. It doesn't need to be here at all. And this shouldn't be there either. Instead, I'm going to have this liquid try to empty out into this area, and if it can't go in there, because it's overpressurized, then it will vent out and go off on its merry way in this direction. But otherwise, it's fine. And that should work quite nicely for us. But we are going to see some liquids, quite a lot of liquids in fact, dribbling out over on this side. Eventually, we're just going to empty this pool out, which is my concern, I think. We are eventually just going to pump that entire pool out of this location. Which is a problem. Which is why I was originally thinking of just running it back and dribbling it back into this pool, but you know, I'm just going to have this liquid being cycled. Is that necessarily the worst thing in the world? Maybe not. But sending all of this liquid down in here is also possibly not a terrible thing either, so maybe we'll just let that happen. How's this moving? Are we seeing much in this pipe? Not really. Not a lot, unfortunately. Seeing quite a lot on this side, but not very much leaving. What's the temperature? Oh, actually, the ambient temperature in this this tank is genuinely starting to drop. It's getting there. Again, because of the priority here. Hello, Ava. I hope you're doing well. Is it okay to ask if you'll play some other game for your YouTube channel or while you're streaming a different game on Twitch? How do you mean? Do you mean, would I play Oxygen Not Included on my YouTube channel whilst also having a separate stream game on Twitch? Or am I misunderstanding the question? All right, let's speed time up a little bit. Right now, we're effectively in a holding pattern. I don't think we can lose. save for the fact that we are eventually gonna really struggle with power. Oh, if I played Wasteland 3 for YouTube. I don't know. I don't know if Wasteland 3 would do well on YouTube. I have considered it. But I think that might be a better fit for streaming. Uh-oh. Yeah. Things haven't turned this into Steam in a long time. And yet, it seems like it should. Yeah, I think I'm going to just disable that for now. Deconstruct that one. I'll allow that for manual use. It's annoying, but it'll have to do. Though the issue with that being on manual use is this stuff in here will they'll be able to grab this and just donk it in there, which is not exactly what I want. But this is the problem. We haven't sent anything up. Oh, there we... Oh, really? After all of that? Is that how you're going to play it, game? You're going to have the Steam burst after I needed the Steam burst? You scoundrel. That's just my bloody luck, isn't it? On the plus side, we are actually running the generators right now. Very nice to see. Also getting a little bit of hydrogen down there as well. Almost a kilowatt. Not quite, and it is dropping pretty fast, but it was almost a kilowatt for a little while. That was nice. That was almost a Randy Random move, yes. That was 100% almost a Randy Random move. Okay. There are a few things we need to do. One, I need to sort out the cooling system over here. I need to set this up properly. Two, I need to relocate my oxygen generation to somewhere else. And three, I very badly... Well, honestly, that one, the number 3 is not really that much of a priority. I need to move my shovel farm down here. I basically need for people to not have a reason why they absolutely need to be up here all the time. Because right now they kind of do need to be up here quite a lot of the time. There we go. Power's just shut down. Eventually this is going to be an automated system, and it's going to be a very, very important one. But in the meanwhile, if nothing else, it's a good system for dealing with pulling the heat out of Regolith. I definitely feel that running the system and just extracting a decent chunk of heat energy out of the steam is a good move. Because the Regolith, it comes in at a decent temperature. I mean, honestly, I could just let it run at its minimum temperature at all times, 120 degrees, and just be satisfied with that. And if I did that, then, like, because right now, this Regolith is hot enough that it's keeping this place warm. Like, if I were to do that, put this at 120, And this at... Honestly, it can kick in at 130. Then that would kickstart the system, and we'd at least be getting a little bit of extra power out of it. And if ever there was enough in here, that would be fine. Yeah, I think this may be a worthwhile system for us. I am going to break this for now, though. Deconstruct that as a very high priority. I want to prevent this water entering the system for the time being. I'm happy for this to bleed out all of the remaining gas pressure in there, but I don't want any more water added to the system. I am going to get in there. I'm going to sort out the conveyor rail loop. And then I don't think I'm going to move... Well, I am going to have the shovel farmer up here because it is going to be a lot of heat. And I don't want to have to take hot regolith far through the base. That being said, as long as I've dumped a lot of that heat out first, then it should be okay. For example, the water here, if I allowed that water to get colder, if I allowed this to run at a much lower temperature, let's say something very comfortable for the main base, say 20 degrees. This is going to kick in. It's going to try and drain all the power, which kind of sucks. But eventually, when we've got enough power that this runs properly, I could have part of this coolant loop run through a body of water, or maybe just a block of metal tiles. And that once the regolith is no longer hot enough to keep this room producing steam, I bring it out, I allow that regolith to leave the system, and I run it through that block until it's cold enough that it's safe for the base, and then I take it into the base and run it down. And that might actually be a decent system. That might sincerely be good enough. We can see what we do with that. Also, this is a bit cruel. I'm not going to lie. On the plus side, you're going to be getting some crazy strong legs. Let's have a look at you. You're hungry. Yeah, that's going to happen. But let's go have a look at your skills. Actually, would it be under bio? No, it would be under skills. So, athletics 22. There we go. Why is it bad to have the voles in space? It's not particularly bad to have them in space. It's just that in space I need to do a load of extra things to cool... Because I need machines in there to make it efficient. I need a robo-miner because when they poop out the stuff that they eat, it comes out as a solid tile. And if I ever want to have a... as we saw over here, if I ever want to have an auto-sweeper in there, which I kind of do, I'm going to need to make it... I basically need to cool down that area because in a vacuum it can't get rid of its heat. It eventually overheats and breaks. If I have the voles inside my base, it serves two purposes. One, my animal husbandry, my ranchers don't have to walk as far. And two, with them inside my base, the ambient cooling of the base can keep the temperature down of those devices. I could, of course, just run a cooling loop. You know, I could literally just have this in a room with a cooling loop if I wanted to. That's also an option. And it is a completely fair option, too. Put them in the industrial brick. Yeah, I could take hot regolith down to the industrial brick. The problem is I'd have to transport the hot regolith through my base to get there. And on its way, it would be dumping that heat into everything. I can't insulate a conveyor rail, sadly. If I could, it might be a very, very different scenario, but I can't insulate a conveyor rail. It is much sadness. Slowly filling things up down here, which is not great. Make a massive dual flask that runs the length of the base. You can, but that's an enormous task, which I'm not sure you'd get enough back from, really. This is getting nice and chilly now. Very soon, this is going to be at a temperature where... Yeah, this is now coming out at 18 degrees straight away, which means that a trip through here, starting at 18 degrees, is going to be below the temperature needed to exit this part of the pipe. But yeah, the temperature is starting to rise because we're not adding cold stuff back in now, so it's not getting pulled back down. So eventually, you know, you have these periods where you're dumping a load of very cold coolant out into the system, and then you're waiting a little while. Back and forth constantly. Over here, the temperature is starting to rise because I am adding fresh, hot polluted water in there, which is a bit of a shame, but, you know, there's a thing that happens. But this polluted water, you know, it's starting to be decent in most ways. Once that gets up there, this tank will start cooling down a lot. But I do need this to move around a bit more. Yeah, the regular injection of really warm polluted water is a problem. And that is coming from my carbon scrubbers. Still, here's the block of hyper chilled stuff. We should start seeing this drop rather quickly. There we go. And once that's below, I believe, 25 degrees, it can start exiting this into the main coolant loop. And that's a lot, unfortunately. We are not getting more. Oh, actually, no, there's decent block of it over there. Yeah, it's taken a while, regrettably. What's the temperature in here? Yeah, it's 19 degrees. So it's going to have these on and off periods, which is not ideal. It's not good for a coolant system to have that. It's because there's no active part to this coolant system. This is purely adjusting the temperature based on the amount of energy I can dump into the frozen core, which isn't terrible, but it's certainly not great either. I count 4 of us, typing roughly the same suggestion at the same time. Oh no. Let me have a look. Put the conveyor between 2 layers of insulated tiles and vacuum out all the air inside. Then insulate the conveyor. Yeah, that will work. You're effectively, I mean, it's not strictly a dual flask, but you're effectively removing out the heat transfer medium, yeah. No, it makes sense, but that, again, it's a huge construction project to do. That I don't really think necessarily gives me enough payback for what I'm putting in at that point. Let's have a quick look at how much work that would be. I'd need something coming all the way down there and then something going all the way across. Well, maybe it isn't that much of a task. Maybe it wouldn't be that much of an ask. Still, the idea of having just basically an insulated tile going all the way down. Not super hot on that idea. If I'm honest, maybe we could see, but honestly, having this running more often isn't a bad thing. Once we've got the power to be able to inject a little bit more into this, it would actually be reasonably good. To that end, I think we will set this up. It's time for us to break in. I have decided. Let's get in there. No. I'm breaking the liquid pipes. That is not what I wanted. Buildings. All of the steam is going to get out, and it's all going to condense right there, which is going to be a massive pain in the bum, but it's going to be a thing that we're going to need to do. I need to reverse the direction of this, of the conveyor rails. It's just a thing I need to do. I could build a debris channel and just drop... Oh, will it not transfer heat while it's falling? That's interesting. I wasn't aware of that. That's very, very useful information. Thank you very much for that one. I wasn't aware that that's how that would work. Well, that's extremely useful. Yeah, this is just going to rain liquid down here for a while. And I could make a very impromptu liquid lock over here, I suppose, by doing this. Whether there's going to be enough liquid there to create the lock, I don't know. We'll see. Let's set this up to something higher. I'll just leave it there for now. It's going to take a while for all of this to drain out. And for the time being, that's fine. What I would like is to get the shipping rails sorted. So... previously, I had this operate with a view of having the materials be brought in on this side, go around once and then out. But then we flipped the direction. I still like the idea of cooling it down. I'm not gonna lie. Quite like the idea of cooling it down. So I'm thinking that we're going to have this be the output point. So let's just get rid of this. At least that high. We are going to have this be the input point. So I need to get rid of you and you. It will come around, go down. Back around. We'll stay in the loop only if the temperature is above a certain amount. Otherwise, it'll exit the loop, which can easily be achieved by removing that. Now, previously, I only allowed it out if the temperature had dropped enough. Do I want to keep that? Let me have a think of that one for a second. Do I want it to have to exit specifically? There may be a justification for that. Otherwise, I'll just keep it flowing on the inside the loop. Hello, Avak. How am I today? I'm actually doing quite well, Cormac. Thank you very much for asking. Not before it's too late. Oh, I'm fine with it. It was already too late. 700 kilos there. But no, I think having this leave the loop on this side will generally be better. I could also have a significant... Like, one of the other things that I realized is I wasn't keeping much of this material in here, though I'll be honest, it was able to dump so much of that heat into this area. I was kind of surprised by just how much density of... how much heat it could pull out of here. I was a little bit shocked by that, I'm not going to lie. Right, let's get all of that done. And I'm going to tell you guys to do this work on a 7, not an 8, please. I don't need it to be done that fast. But I'm thinking we'll have this enter at the top and possibly just swing around and try and fill up as much of this room with moving regolith as we can. I think that would be the best thing to do. We'll need a bridge to bring in the product from outside. This will be fairly easy. It's almost hot enough that this steam is able to escape now, which is actually kind of fun. I would very much like to remove these conveyor rails all the way across there. These ones can go up. There we go. And the reason for that is I would like to try and fill out as much of this space as possible. But the next part I need is the conveyor shut off. Oh, can I not put it there? Huh, what is in that spot then?